Welcome back to Random Talk of the Night, discussion number 3. I am joined here with Aaron and Dylan.
Yeah, well, I'm only here because the studio's in my apartment, so...
Yeah, I'm here because I guess I wanted to be.
I'm just kidding.
And I am AJ. What's going on, guys? How's your weekend? What did you do this weekend?
Didn't do much. I really didn't do anything. I hung out with my cousin. We watched Halloween H2O on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely go check that podcast out. We got it uploaded.
That was fun. We recorded it that following Sunday night.
Aaron, what did you do this weekend?
Watched the McGregor and Khabib fight with you and got drunk as fuck.
That is true. And who won that? Khabib.
Yeah.
Oh,
That fight at the end was insane.
I didn't even actually know who won. I didn't even hear this until just now.
Khabib won, and then the crowd just burst into flames, pretty much. Like, everyone just started fighting.
Really?
But I found out why. McGregor's team was yelling at Khabib, like calling him names and stuff, so he just jumped over.
No, he wasn't jumping over the fence. He was going to get on top of the fence, and then McGregor went up behind him, thought he was going to hop over the fence, hit him in the face.
Yeah.
And then he hopped over the fence.
And then the whole crowd. Oh, it was crazy. Even people got onto the
octagon. Somebody hopped in the octagon and punched McGregor in the face.
It started
another UFC
like
fighter.
In the ring?
Yeah.
Really?
It was insane.
Damn.
But good fight. I mean, it was a good fight.
How many rounds did they go?
I thought McGregor was going to win.
Ended in 4, but it was a 5-round fight.
Because of the guy who jumped in the ring? That was that kind of spot?
Khabib choked out McGregor, and McGregor tapped out in round 4.
Jeez Louise, Papa Cheese.
Now, if you guys watched our last podcast, we talked about Brett Kavanaugh. And since then, he ended up being on the Supreme Court. So does anyone know anything about that?
Nope.
I stopped caring.
Yeah, I'm the same way. There's a viral tweet going around, though, and I'm going to read this to you guys, so I want your thoughts on it.
Okay.
This was a tweet, and it says, if you have a son, make sure you buy him a notepad, a body camera, and a recording device. Get him a battery pack, too, so he can always protect himself with video evidence of every single encounter he has with a woman. Men aren't safe in America anymore. There is a war on men.
That just doesn't seem practical to carry camera and audio equipment around to film every encounter they have with women. Also, that also seems super creepy to be like,
it doesn't matter what gender you are, you're not safe.
I gotta film this so that way, if
do you not get it's satirical?
Oh, I totally get it. Yeah,
it's from the Brett Kavanaugh thing,
right? Yeah. It just is like, I don't know. It's like a little bit too much.
Yeah,
It's like, okay.
Anyone upset with Dylan's answer? Contact Dark Mighty AJ, and I will let you know his address. Thank you.
What the fuck? Why would anyone be upset with that? Maybe the person who tweeted it would be.
Oh, it's everywhere. It's like all over.
I was going to say, was that Donald Trump?
I did see a tweet that was similar to that. It was by some Muslim woman. Well, it wasn't really all that similar, but it's relevant. She was all upset that Brett Kavanaugh actually did get appointed.
Right.
It was just like a tweet about a bunch of whole falsehoods about the process. And she said, it's pretty bad when a rapist gets elected and all that stuff. I'm like, I'm shook. I'm so afraid in this country being a Muslim woman and all this shit.
Well, he ain't the first one.
Yeah, and then she started asking for money. Like, she put her PayPal up there. It's like, I need therapy. It's like, they have therapy plans for low income.
I mean, also, there's like free programs for people like that. Like, you don't have to.
Yeah, she just wanted money.
Yikes. This is a weird time for America.
Just things like that hurt the actual victims.
Right. Yeah. Well, there really is there's no way of talking about these things because, I mean, really talking about this kind of thing is kind of like trying to navigate your way through a minefield. You don't know, it's just.
Yeah, no matter what you say, somebody's going to be pissed.
Right. You're going to always piss somebody off, no matter what your opinion is. I mean, we've gotten to an age where everything is black and white. It's either you're for this person or against this person. There can be no in the middle.
And if you're for the other person, you're a Nazi.
Right. I mean, it's just, we've literally got like this classic good versus evil battle going on right now. I think we should try to find a gray area again, personally, and just try to figure out what's going on here. I mean, I don't know, Kavanaugh, he seemed very, like, in his testimonials, he was very passionate about his answer, saying he didn't do it. But then when they were like, okay, cool, well, then we'll just do like an FBI investigation and put this whole thing like to rest, he started getting all like, oh, well, I've got a calendar here. You don't need you don't need an FBI investigation. Just look at my calendar. And that's when I was like, oh shit, he probably did it.
Yeah, he put stuff on there like Devil's Triangle and shit, which is a 3-way.
I like there was one where they were asking about what boofing meant.
What's that?
Okay, so boofing, by the definition I know it of, is when you
It's
have
just the name's funny.
yeah, it
the
is. It's a
word.
funny name, but it also
Yeah.
kind of has a funny like definition.
Okay.
So boofing is when like you sneak like illegal substances into a place where they wouldn't be, and I think to have it be a boof would be if it goes up your ass. So like people like boof cocaine up their ass, like go across the country with
Is
it. And
this one of
stuff.
those?
So in the calendar, they were saying something about like I can't remember. I don't actually remember what was said, but one of like the congressmen were like, "Could you define boofing for us? Like, what is boofing?" Because he used it. It was like written on his calendar or something, where he was like sat around boofing with the boys or something like that. And they were like, "What is boofing?" And he was like, boofing that is flatulence." It's like, oh come on, we all know what boofing is.
Is that like an Urban Dictionary
Kind of,
thing? Okay.
yeah. It's like a street slang.
Yeah, they asked him about the Devil's Triangle too, and he just lied about that too. I forgot what he said.
Yeah, Devil's Triangle.
Oh, man.
What a dark name for something like that.
Yeah, really.
Devil's Triangle?
Well,
It
Brett
implies
Kavanaugh
it-
and politics, and let's talk about something that I don't like. I remember Aaron talking about this last podcast, so I don't know if you guys are going to be excited. Actually, I know you're not. Suicide Squad 2,
Not excited.
Oh yeah,
and there's talks of James Dunn to write and direct it.
James Gunn.
Gunn?
Dunn.
Dunn.
D-U-N-N?
No, it's
Dunn?
Gunn.
James Dunn. I know James Gunn. I don't know Dunn.
Like
though.
a G-U-N-N?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Gunn is Gunn.
Yeah, I read about that too.
James Gunn would be directing
He's
Suicide
gonna
Squad.
write it. They're not sure if he's gonna direct it or not.
Well, James Gunn is a pretty decent writer, I suppose.
You're right, it is James Gunn.
Oh, wow,
Okay,
interesting.
sorry. James Dunn was an actor. He was an actor in A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. Long time ago. He lived 1901 to 1967, so he definitely ain't directing that movie.
He came back from the grave and was like, "Give me Suicide Squad 2." Interesting. So, because James Gunn got fired from doing
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, so he's like, "Fuck you, Marvel," and he jumped over to DC.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know, man. Suicide Squad 1 was such a train wreck. I mean, if anyone could do I think this would potentially be probably one of the best sequels, like it even being better than the first one. But I don't know. He's got a lot of garbage to work with, so that would be interesting to see how it turns out.
Better be better than first.
It would have to be. I mean, one, James Gunn, he's great. He's a really talented writer, director. But then two, Suicide Squad 2? What the fuck? I don't get any of that. That is okay, whatever. I probably won't see it.
Like I probably will
No
go
one
see it because I
cares.
like superhero movies.
Okay, next
love
on the list
super-
is, did you guys see the new trailer for Pet Cemetery?
No, they remade Pet Cemetery.
They're making a new one.
Yeah,
Is it a soft reboot, a C boot, or what is
I
it?
guess.
complete
I don't know.
reboot.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, they did good with it.
They did good with it. It looks like they could potentially do good with Halloween. I mean, I'm not gonna say that like all reboots or sequels are bad.
I just want to see a kid get hit by a semi in Pet
Right.
Cemetery.
I'm just saying they do it a lot, and like 7 times out of 10, they end up being pretty schlocky.
Well, Stephen King's like all about it now. You know, ever since The Shining, he's
Well,
had
I mean,
everything to do with everything.
they did do a good job with it, so Stephen King's probably like, oh, okay, yeah. The first Pet Cemetery is so good and creepy, though. Like, I don't see a point in you have to remake that. Like, it legitimately stands out.
Everything's getting remade.
Well, like a lot of people nowadays really haven't seen the old movie.
Yeah,
like a lot
that's
of kids
true.
and stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
our age.
You know, I feel like a lot of things that's coming out these days, you got to think of what children's interests are. And, well, not children, but
Okay.
the younger generation.
I'm on the latter side of that because I kind of am not a fan of that argument of like, well, it brings like this story and these characters to like a whole new generation of people. Well, just go watch the movie, the first
Yeah,
one
but
that came
wouldn't
out.
you want to experience it in the theater and stuff like that? And a new, like,
Well, then put it in the theater.
But
It's a movie. It belongs in a theater anyway. So go see it, like play it in
think
theaters.
of our generation, though. There are so many of our generations that still today will not watch older movies just because of
Yeah.
how they look,
Right.
who's in them. So it's kind of like that same thing, too.
Well, then make something new and original. That's all I have to say. Is
Yeah.
originality is dead.
Well, we'll find out, I guess, with this one. So moving on to Netflix, It's been revealed that Henry Cavill will be joined by Freya Allen and Anya Charlotra in the upcoming Netflix adaptation of The Witcher.
Based off the
video game, yeah.
Okay.
So I
No,
never
it's based
played
off
The
the
Witcher.
book.
The book, yeah,
It's all based off the
technically.
book.
Oh, there's
I
a
never,
book.
I
don't
never
know
read
much.
it, never
Yeah.
played it.
I don't know much about the game, or
Polish
I guess,
people represent, man.
Did you play The Witcher, Aaron?
Yeah, I played the third one.
Okay.
And I played a little bit of the second one.
Usually, like, gaming.
I don't know.
mostly-
Netflix shows are awful.
Yeah,
With
I
the
like a lot of
exception-
originals.
There's a lot of good ones. Like
Not a lot.
I mean, there's a
They
few,
have like how many originals?
a lot.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them that are good.
Stranger Things is good.
Yeah.
The Ozark.
I
never
love
saw it.
Disjointed. I know no one else seemed to care like it. But
Disjointed
I
is
loved it.
like a guilty pleasure.
Orange
kinda
is the
good.
New
Yeah.
Black is fucking cancer. I don't care what anybody says.
I was not a big fan of that one either. Trailer Park Boys, I
Yeah.
guess even though that's not technically, I mean, it is
Yeah.
a Netflix original by textbook definition, but it started on like
Well,
another
there's
network.
2 more coming out, and so we got The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the TV show. Does anyone remember Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Is that what it is? They're
Yep.
bringing that back?
It's going to be based off the 90s Archie comics. So,
Weren't they gonna bring back a? Shit, I lost it.
And Kiernan Shipka is
Buffy
playing
the
lead
Vampire
role.
Slayer.
Ooh, I could see
Hey, I
that
have a
actually
question.
making a return.
Who's behind the Pet Sematary remake?
Stephen King.
Written and directed by Stephen King. I would see it if it was written and directed by Stephen King for sure. I'd be like, okay,
Well, I mean, they definitely get his input nowadays
right.
for sure. Because I think like Stephen King would just sue a studio nowadays.
Directors are Dennis Wildmeyer and Kevin Kolsch.
Like 2 people directed it.
Yeah, it's 2
What-
directors.
What are they known for?
Let's see what Dennis is known for. He's known for Starry Eyes, Curtain,
Oh,
Throwaway.
I just watched Starry Eyes the other night, believe it or not, and that was a pretty decent little horror movie.
Kevin Kolsch is Starry Eyed, Absence Holiday, so like pretty much the same movies.
Yeah, Starry Eyes. I actually watched that on Shudder the other night, and I actually ended up really enjoying it. So that's kind of cool.
John Lithgow is going to be in it.
See, that's the thing about like these. Okay, here's
Is he
what's
gonna be the cemetery groundskeeper?
I bet Judd
Don't
Crandall.
bury.
that's kind of the interesting thing about these like reboots and like
Bury,
remakes.
nothing up her.
Is they're always made by like smaller filmmakers. Like it's like these studios dig out like these filmmakers from like who've made like, moderately to pretty successful like low budget movies, like, and they hire them to like make Star Wars. So it's like it's kind of interesting.
Also on Netflix is a new holiday film called The Christmas Chronicles starring Kurt Russell. And I watched a trailer for it, and guys, it was looking okay at the very end. And I hate this. These elves came out, and guess what they are? They are rip-offs of the Minions
Oh
characters.
boy.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
They don't talk. They're like, doing that.
They do like the
And I was just like, I'm done. I just set my phone down. It was good. It
Everything's
was good
got-
until then.
every movie's got minions.
God, it was bad.
It
but
makes
needs
sense
to
because it's
stop.
like cute little bumbling
what
idiots.
were the first Minions? Like, what was that?
They were in Despicable Me.
No, I mean, like, where were the first type of those kind of characters?
Munchkins from It's Always
I was
from from Wizard of Oz, maybe.
I was thinking
um,
something
I
like
don't know.
that, but
Those Minions, man, they just took right off. Everyone loves Minions.
Yeah, a bunch of brain dead kids.
Yeah, I love seeing people dressing up for Halloween as Minions.
oh god, that has to be the worst thing ever.
It's the scariest
yeah,
costume
it's
I
gonna be
see.
kind of scary.
I don't think people understand what Minions actually represent.
So when I was younger, I would always turn on the TV, and soap operas were always playing. And I
Okay.
remember one specifically was Days of Our Lives.
Yeah.
Days
Yeah,
of Our
still
Lives.
going.
And but the star Peggy McKay died at 90 years old today.
Wow.
So did you guys grow up with soap operas being on when you were younger?
Yeah, kind
Like,
of.
do you remember
My
them?
mom liked General's Hospital.
Days of
a
Our
lot.
Lives have been on since like the 60s.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like super.
It
long.
is like if anyone wanted to binge watch that whole show.
I never really watched soap operas except for like when I was homesick from school and it was all that would be
Yeah.
on TV.
They were always so like real, like I don't know, what's that motion? It was so like the motion in those shows were-
Melodramatic.
Man, it was just so weird to me. I never could really get used to it.
Well, yeah, they're not really the best of shows. I mean, it's so interesting to see how like these shows have lasted so long because you watch them and you're like, how did this show?
Who
like,
watches them? Like, who's still today? Like,
People that watched them in the 80s.
Retired elderly
I
women.
don't hear anyone ever talking about them, though. When's the last time you ever heard someone say, "Hey, I watched
Hey,
the
did you
last
see?
episode
Did
of
you see
Days of Our Lives"?
Did you see Days of Our Lives last night?
Yeah,
Or
the guy with the eye
yesterday
patch
day?
came back.
That's daytime
He has
television.
amnesia.
That's an interesting breed of audience, the daytime television
Yeah.
viewers. Those, you don't see them going out much because, they just stay inside all day.
Everybody in that show had an amnesia at one point. Like they
Yeah.
die and then they come back with amnesia.
It makes you wonder, how have those shows lasted as long as they have? Because it's like, how fresh can they keep it? Like, how can they keep it going? Like, it's interesting to me.
It's not fresh. They use the same plot over and over again, like with the amnesia thing.
Right.
It's just constant.
I don't remember. Who are
Yeah.
you? I woke up one day and this man's saying he's my husband.
Yeah, I turned on the TV the other day and there's this man and this woman on there like having an argument about whether or not they had sex. And then this woman just like, oh, well, I'm pregnant. And then just zooms in on this dude's face and he's all creeped out, just complete shock. He's like, maybe we did have sex.
I was named after General Hospital.
What?
Yeah.
Oh God.
There's a character on the show named Dylan that my mom, I guess, was liked. And so...
Did you tell people that in elementary school when they would ask how you got your name?
I think so.
Remember those assignments?
Maybe.
What were you named after, Aaron?
One of the sons of Abraham, I think.
That explains your religious physique.
Yeah.
Mine was over after the race car driver, AJ Foyt.
Oh.
But my actual birth names,
yeah,
those
your
are all
name-
biblical, but they're also like grandpas and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
moving on, Sears. You remember Sears, guys?
Sears?
Sears. The stock dropped 30%, and they're going to possibly file for bankruptcy.
Yeah, they're donezo, bro.
We
I thought
over.
that store was done like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I did too.
I know.
Have you been to the one?
Well, it closed down.
Oh, really?
Our nearest one closed down. You know, that was one of the first ones that commercial-wise opened outside of the main city build, the big buildings.
I know,
corporate
10
buildings.
years ago when I was still in high school and my dad lived literally around the corner from that Sears, and we'd go spend weekends with him. Me and my brothers would always go over to that Sears, and it was just always dead.
Yeah.
I mean, literally just a graveyard. And we'd always joke and be like, does anyone shop here? Like, how's this place keep its doors open?
It's kind of sad, but it's just like Toys R Us and all those places. They're just the prices are way too high for them to compete.
And they
Plus-
mainly did online sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus with things like Amazon.
Yeah.
It's like,
I loved Sears as a child. My mom and dad were, other than Walmart, shopped at Sears for electronics and stuff. It's wherever they got refrigerators and if they needed anything.
everyone. Yeah. It's where
tools.
Sears was the place to go for all that stuff.
We got our
Everyone.
first computer at Sears. I remember that.
I used to get haircuts at Sears.
Where-
What?
Yeah, they used to have, or was that Kmart? I remember going to a department store to get a haircut.
Man.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, it's no different from any other haircut. It was same types of people cutting hair there than there would
Dude,
be.
I went to the mall and got a haircut one time, and I was like, never again.
Yeah, never again. Me too.
Are they bad there?
Yeah.
They use one of those thinning tools that they use on hair on me.
Oh, like the scissors?
yeah, and she was just tearing it through.
Uh-huh.
They gave me a bowl cut.
Like it was a comb. that
Yeah,
just,
I hate
thinned out your hair.
those because you just watch yourself slowly getting more and more bald.
Yeah.
Like they thin out your hair to where you're like, okay, if you don't stop hitting that one spot, there's gonna be a bald spot there.
Yes.
They just keep going.
Master cuts.
So another hurricane, Hurricane Michael, had hit the Florida Panhandle, so places like Panama City, and they're being hit with a record-breaking 155 mile per hour winds. Lots of devastation over there right
Feel
now.
sorry
Where
for
was
the
this at?
weathermen.
Like the Florida Panhandle. So
Oh,
like
boy.
Panama City is one of the
Yeah.
major places hit. So
Yeah,
they
like-
haven't even cleaned up from Texas. So it's like we're getting hit pretty bad this year. Everywhere's getting hit.
Well,
pretty bad
Texas
this
was
year.
last year, right?
Yeah.
Or did one happen again this year in Texas?
Was Texas? I thought Texas was
No,
the beginning of
North
the year.
Carolina and South Carolina got hit.
Yeah, Texas got hit really bad last
yeah,
year.
Houston got.
That was last year.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, they're still picking up from that one.
Jeez.
So
Yeah, because the flooding was so bad.
So I
Man,
guess all those spring breakers
Mother Nature's a cruel bitch.
won't be going to
PCB.
back to the PCB. Yeah. So let's keep those people in our thoughts and stuff like that.
Yeah, especially the weathermen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to be outside during it.
Yeah, those
'Cause
crazy
it's their
fuckers.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Screw that.
I watched a clip of a weatherman and like during a hurricane, and they asked him, "How's it going out there?" And he's like, "It sucks."
Yeah, I remember during the Houston floodings and stuff, there was a weatherman. He was standing out in the flood water, and it was like up to his chest, and they had cameras on him, and he had his microphone, and he was like, "As you can see, there is flooding," and it was like, "What are you doing out there, bro?" I remember I told that to a friend, and the first thing she said was, "You're not supposed to wade in flood water." It's like, oh, someone's been keeping up on their weather safety
Trying to
booklet
get
tips.
tetanus.
Do you still buy stamps at the U.S. Postal Service?
I mean, yeah.
Well, be ready because they went from 50 to 55 cents,
Oh.
which is a record high.
Highway robbery.
And priority mail increased by 5.9%. So, for example, like a small flat rate package, it would usually cost $7.20. So $7.20. It is now $7.90. So
Damn.
I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but this is happening like almost every other year, and it's just going up and up. So
I can't wait until we reach the point where stamps are like $12.
God, that's all Obama's fault.
They're just going to shut down the postal service is what they're going to do. When stamps get to a certain point, everyone's going to be like, just email it to me.
well, they're not. They're like they need to charge like Amazon more and
Mhm.
places like that. Amazon's getting rich off the USPS.
Right.
Yeah.
They're getting rich off everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Amazon does not have to do much to
They're like
get
the
rich.
worst company ever.
So I thought this was a little silly. An emotional support animal
Yes.
gets a passenger kicked off Frontier Airlines, and I want you guys to guess what animal it was.
A
So-
ferret.
No,
Cat?
ass monkey.
No, it was a squirrel. She had a squirrel as a emotional support animal, and she got
A
kicked
squirrel.
off because of it. So she wrote down that she'd have one with her,
Yeah.
but they thought, like a dog or something,
Did she write squirrel?
No, she just, it's a squirrel. So these people were like, you got to get off our plane. So
You can have a squirrel as emotional support.
squirrels are not allowed on airplanes.
Who has a support squirrel?
That was
That's all I want to ask.
Yeah.
Who has a support
What did
squirrel?
she
Whatever
have
helps,
it? Did she
whatever
have it like
helps.
in a cage, or was it like on a leash?
I'm
Like,
sorry, but I'm
was
just
she-
picturing a squirrel on a leash, and it's,
Yeah.
it's kind of cute.
Was she
kinda
just holding
silly.
it?
I don't
She
know.
like put it in her like coat pocket. And
Just
then, and then
hanging
like
out.
when she went through TSA, she was like, "Oh, hold on one second." She like put it in one of the bins, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
She was
gets
like, "It's my
X-rayed.
emotional support animal."
So this is really interesting. The average person can recognize 5,000 faces. So at the University of York, psychologists said you can remember 5,000 faces in your lifetime. So apparently when it hits 5,001, you forget one of those things.
I struggle past 5.
It's pretty incredible if you think about though.
5,000 faces?
Yeah. At the like
I don't even think I know 5,000 people.
Yeah. Well, you know how like you'll see somebody and one day you might see that person be like, "Oh my god, for
Yeah,
some reason I've seen that," or in your dreams.
true.
So I feel
Interesting.
like do you guys feel like you've seen 5,000 people in your lifetime?
Well, yeah.
TV, movies.
Yeah,
I've been
like
in.
you
it's-
see faces
Yeah, I've been.
everywhere.
To, you go to
Advertising,
concerts and
like
Yeah.
like concerts and stuff. Do you ever think about that when you're walking around? And be like, how many people have I seen? Or like, I wonder if I've ever seen that person before.
I don't even think about it. Over 7 billion, approaching 8 billion
Yeah,
people in the world.
I think about it, but I think about it like on the latter side where I'm like, I've never seen any of these people before, even though like statistically, like if I'm to go to a certain popular festival that like a lot of people might constantly recurringly go to, like you're going to go back there. You're not going to remember, like you're not
Yeah.
technically going to remember this. So in my head, it builds like this world of like, these are all new faces that I've just created. Like these are all just people existing right now in this moment with me.
Yeah.
But then you might see like that one dude where you're like, oh, I remember him.
Anything else going on, guys? That's pretty much all I got.
Okay, I just wanted to talk about H2O a little bit. Can we do that?
Yeah, sure.
So if you guys don't know, we have another show that we post on this channel called Series the Series, and currently we are We are watching the film series. So like right now in the spirit of October and Halloween season, and with the latest Halloween movie, the newest Halloween movie coming out, we're watching the Halloween series. And we just did an episode that we released on Monday.
Yeah.
It just came out. That's what we do. But yeah, check out the movie before watching the podcast to kind of get more of a frame of reference, because we're not really good at this. We're new. We just started out, so we're not the best articulators. So like maybe seeing the movie would be a best bet before listening to the podcast, because you might have better frame of reference of what we're talking about.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us again on Random Talk of the Night. We will see you next. We do this bi-weekly now, pretty much.
There's no rhyme or reason to this madness.
So every bi-weekly episode will be released just for you. Comment, subscribe, like, do all the things.
Just for you and you and you.
And we will see you next time.
We'll literally see you.
We're watching you.
Through your window.